On 5 and dime, on 5 and, on 5 and, on 5 and dime, on 5 and, on 5 and, on 5 and dime, on 5 and, on 5 and, hey, yeah, you lie, on 5 and dime. Got on the phone, hit a Big Mac. Put me on the show so we can chit-chat. Blow smoke, sit back. I dunk, but I bet somebody gon' sip yak. Yeah, this that. Got a mad, you can hit a lip smack. Been whipping up until the wrist snap. Ain't taking no breaks, no Kit Kats. Like the big homie say, it's all big facts. Sound like a good time, so I'm in that. Time to go live, yeah, spin that. Looking so fly, in my in hat. Like a 4-5, we gotta kick back. Chop it up, never know who's popping up. So what you doing? Where you been at? Mosh with us, rock with us. Can't wait until I can spin back. I'm 5
How we doing, ladies?
Excellent.
Good.
You?
I'm doing all right.
Yeah.
Welcome to show 35.
Ooh.
35.
Yeah.
This is our rebuttal to show 30. This
Yep.
is our ladies' voice. We need it. A good, calm conversation about,
Yeah.
maybe where we could all try to find some improvement in communication.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
So we're going to get the like, share, and subscribe out of the way. We would like to thank Habits, Glass, and Goodies for sponsoring the show. 3 locations, one over on Florence, one at 101st and Maple Street, and one at 87th and J. They are doing donations for Toys for Tots right now. If you go in there and take a donation, they will double your points on all your purchases. So they're trying to give back to you for giving to the kids.
Love it.
So yeah,
That's awesome.
be a creature of habits.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. So what we're kind of going to start here is we're talking communication, and this isn't just me or y'all or
Right.
this is, we're trying to have a healthy conversation, and we discussed how it's is it mental health or is it social media, or so we're trying to get the ladies' spin on this here. So we're going to welcome Katrina and we're going to welcome Melissa.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hello.
Oh, you know what? I got a button for that. Like, here we go. We'll get the applause. We'll turn that up. There we go. We got the applause. All right.
Appreciate it.
I haven't done that in a long time.
It's only right.
Yeah. I need to get back to it though.
Yeah.
But so let's open this up here, ladies.
Mhm.
What do you think is our biggest hangups? Communicate. I mean, let's start with social media.
Oh, yeah. Social media is terrible in relationships, I think. I personally, especially like Snapchat, you got, and I mean, any of the chats that you can't see.
I think.
But-
go ahead.
No, sorry, I was going to say, but you also just have to have that trust in your partner. So until that's broken, then,
Yeah. I mean, I feel like you can go there for that instant gratification,
Yeah.
or if you're in a fight, you can rally the troops, against somebody real easy,
right.
or you get a whole bunch of people that are, oh, you're right, when you could be really wrong.
Wrong.
You
Right.
can get pretty bold behind a phone.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
And I will say, you guys made an excellent point on the last episode, or the episode we're rebuttaling to. People are in your past for a reason,
Yep.
and going back to them and getting those dopamine hits from them isn't going to
It's-
do anything for your relationship.
I totally agree on that.
So I think it's playing with fire,
Yep.
Yeah.
honestly. And I've been totally guilty of it. It's really easy
It's
to
so
get
easy.
attention on social media.
Yeah. It's very easy to just say, oh, I just wanted to see how they were doing.
Totally.
But at the same time, like, you shouldn't care how they're doing.
Well, it's
Like,
not
if you
fair to
run
your
into
partner
them-
by any means.
Right. Like, if you run into them in person, that's one thing. Like, oh, like, chop it up for a minute.
Totally.
How are you? But
But actively seeking them out.
seeking them out is when it becomes an issue.
And if they slip in your DMs and you're not like, hey, I'm in a committed relationship, this isn't going to work. If you're not doing that,
yeah.
there's some problems.
Yeah. Totally agree.
Yeah. What about mental health?
There's a lot.
Being angry, I have done my fair share of damage to my relationship.
Mhm.
So it's, I get the angry, and then when she's angry at me, then I'm angry that Jesus,
goes
you know,
back
it
and
just
forth.
sucks. Yeah.
Yeah. I think, I know personally, like my mental health really took a dive when my mom died. So my mom lived with me for 10, 12 years. And I was married. Well, I wasn't married yet, but I was with my now ex-husband at the time. And I was pregnant with my last daughter. So when she died, like, I'll be the first one to admit, like, I went down big time. And it's taken a lot. Like, she's been gone 8 years and it still affects me. It still affects my kids because she was just such a big influence in all of our lives. So I think that had a lot to do with my issues in my last marriage. But like my relationship now, I'm with somebody that I've been with for 2 years and he's a lot younger. So I feel like he brings out that communication in me because I kind of agreed more with you guys when you guys were talking about it because I kind of relate. I think it's like our generation, like it's just how we were brought up. Like you just didn't talk about your feelings with people, your friends maybe, your girlfriends maybe, but like I didn't have those conversations with my mom until later on in life, you know?
Yep.
And I think like my boyfriend now, like he really brings that out in me and I'm the one that shuts down. And like I'm like you guys, like I'm the one that shuts down a lot and he like brings that like no, like you need to tell me what's wrong. Like I can't help you if I don't know, you know, and I can't read your mind like
That
what the
brings
guys were
balance.
saying.
It brings balance.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
And
good.
That's
Yeah.
where I had kind of reached out to you for this because I know y'all's relationship. At least I see what I see on Facebook, and
Right.
y'all seem to get along well. And I knew he was younger, and
Mhm.
it, y'all seem to communicate. So that's why I kind of wanted you here for this. Was
Yeah. I mean, we've had our issues like of communication, but we work through it. Like, and I think that's where our relationship is so different from the ones I've had in my past is because he really brings that out in me. Like, we're going to get through this and I'm not leaving. And that's my biggest thing is that's my biggest fear in relationships is them leaving because that's what's happened in my past.
And that's a big topic I want to touch on is the whole 1 foot in, 1 foot out thing.
Yes.
Like
because it's so
if you're not secure knowing that they're in this, like they're not going anywhere. I mean, it creates madness in our heads. Absolute madness if we do not know you are committed to this, and how we are approached. And just like you, it's really important to approach with gentleness, kindness, unconditional love. It's not always easy. I fail all of the time, but having that in the forefront is so, so important because this is somebody that you want to have approach you like that. So if you're not approaching them like that, you are doomed, because you really do get what you give. And that starts chipping away at trust and love and loyalty if that person just feels beaten down all the time. If you feel like they don't love you wholly, like as a whole, with the good, the bad, the ugly, all of it. Right. Like you want somebody that can talk you out of those moments of avoidance and say, no, look into my eyes. We are in this together. And I honestly don't feel like I've ever truly felt that. I felt like it was usually conditional. And I always felt like there was a possibility of being left without a doubt, or being expected to stay in an unhealthy environment, and still give my best. And that's a really counterintuitive feeling. And so then that brings resentment, and it brings just these ruminating thoughts in your head that you're like, I know this isn't how it's supposed to feel, but I know there's going to be hard times, but this feels like disrespect. This feels like I'm not safe here. And that is the most important. And what you said about mental health, I think our entire adult lives are us undoing the wiring that we had in our childhood. And it's nothing against our parents. They were probably doing the best that they could, but there's a lot of things that we have zero control over. And most of our actions, especially at this age, they're trauma responses, 100%. And we need to identify that. So if you can go into those conversations where you're like, I am triggered right now, and it's not because of you. I just want you to know that I am just like I'm not going to be able to handle this the way you think that I should handle this because of my past.
And that's what Aiden brings out in me, because something will trigger me, and it's not necessarily him, but just something does, like a word,
it's reminiscent,
a phrase, something happens where it triggers that, and I just shut down. And as soon as he sees me shut down, he's like, no, like, just tell me. And it takes a while.
That's
like,
so important.
We might fight a little bit about it, but at the end, like, you know, he gives me space for a little bit, and then he'll come back and try again, and then like I'll finally like open up, and then it's like,
it's so important for that to happen.
It does.
In the heat of battle, I can't form good, a thought that's going to be productive to the conversation, and I don't want to be hurtful. But, that's where you're coming from at that point. And I, so it's, obviously when you're arguing, you kind of have to have the argument, but like you almost I need a calm or because I'm just it's not gonna be good. I can't have a good rebuttal when I'm angry at all.
Right.
Well, everybody reacts when they're feeling attacked.
Yeah.
That's going to happen. Well, that's something that obviously is a trauma response for you. And so that's something very important to remember about you when you're being approached.
And
right? I mean, that's respect.
Right.
Yeah, right?
I do. As soon as it gets loud or starts, I'm shut down.
I will too.
Me too.
100%.
Me too.
I can't deal with it. I will. Yeah. I feel like a beaten child.
Yeah.
I'm not okay with it.
Then that came, Dad was a little rough, and you tried defending yourself at all. It just made it worse. Yeah. So it was, that was, I feel like that's where that comes from. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm afraid of her. Like, what's she going to do? Beat me up?
No, we're human though. Like everybody has that tendency. I feel like.
Yeah. But and as soon as I shut down, I'm angry that she's upset with me. I know most of the time I've done something that is,
so probably something that's triggering her.
I'm also upset with myself.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So I'm in my head talking shit to myself while you're here yelling at me, talking
Isn't that
more
the
shit.
Truth?
And it's just like, it becomes this huge pile of shit.
There's something really important to remember with that is like, no one can talk more crap about me than me.
Yep.
Like seriously,
100%.
What you're saying is validating everything I tell myself every day if you're talking smack to me, because that's how I talk to myself. And you guys, there was a point made on the guys episode about kind of like social media, and their girlfriends will all like rally and be like, you deserve better and you deserve better. And I will just vouch for my friends. They want better for me than I do. They do. They 100% do. If your friends are watching your relationship and they're telling you, dude, you deserve better than that, they're right.
Well, I mean, you're
most likely
your friends that are viewing it, but if you're just taking random person's perspective who doesn't know you, or
I don't even know anyone that would do that.
Well, I don't know.
I guess I don't know.
I feel like a lot of people talk in situations they know shouldn't be talking in.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, and I'm just basing this off experience with my girlfriends and the way that they handle me, and like I will tell you, it'll take someone real seriously awesome to fill those shoes, because there's no one that loves me like my friends.
Yeah.
And like, at least with this relationship, I've kind of taken a whole different perspective on it. Early on, just learning from my past. Mm-hmm. I don't talk to my friends about my relationship anymore. Mm-hmm. I don't. I mean, you see what you see, and that's all you're getting from me. Because I've been burned by friends that I thought I've known since I was in middle school, and I've been burned by them. Mm. So I don't talk. If me and Aiden have problems, we work it out together. Mm-hmm. I don't talk to anybody about it.
I mean, I may say, it sucks, but I don't talk specifics of, this shit just sucks right now, dude.
Oh, my best friend knows all details, every detail. But if I come to her and say, he did this or whatever, or I'm upset about this, and I choose to forgive him, she 100% has my back. Right. And I do the same for her.
Which is good.
Like that's how we know how difficult this is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like, That's why I don't tell my mom everything, though.
Right.
You know,
right.
I ain't telling my mom that stuff because she's going to be like,
they're going to hold it against
he's
them.
a loser. Get rid of him. And if I don't get rid of him, she's going to be like, he's still a loser. So I don't tell her those details, but like, you got to have somebody you can confide in so that you can rationalize things seriously. Like, because when you're hot, you're not logical.
Right.
You know?
And that's usually where I'm walking. Or punching the shed wall.
Sure.
Because I can't break it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I get it, man. It's not easy. Relationships are incredibly hard. And I will tell you, any woman that I've ever known that has left weren't leaving for another man. They were leaving because they did not feel loved, appreciated, seen, heard, and they didn't feel like they were being treated well.
That's, we had touched on, the actually hearing what they're saying. And that is something else where, once I have shut down and I'm talking that shit to myself, I can't hear what you're saying.
I get it.
I'm the same way.
So it goes back to that. I almost have to have a fucking break and like
take a time out.
I get that. It's like your blood pressure just floods or just spikes and then everything's just red. Yeah. You just don't see, hear, nothing. I get it. But
it's all internalized. You know what I mean? I'm just, you fucking piece of shit. And you know what I mean?
I get it.
So it's, and how much of this is self-worth involved, and
tons of it. Mm-hmm. It's been such a learning experience for me being thrown into the dating world for the first time.
Oh, it's
since
so
I was
scary.
17.
It's so scary.
And it's like I don't know how to be a dater. I only know how to be a wife.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm investing time in you, that means I see a future with you. Yeah. But the dating world out there, they're just like, no, I'm trying this right out for a while. And I'm going to see what I see.
It's kind of it's all 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
All of it.
Oh, all of it.
All of it. You have no idea if any of it's like there's so many gray areas, and I'm like, I'm not used to this. It's bizarre.
See, and like when I met Aiden, like I wasn't looking for any, like I was dating, but I wasn't
actively pursuing.
I was just having fun.
Sure.
I was having fun.
Yeah.
And so when we met, like it was just like a flip. Like I just knew it was different.
Yeah, no, I completely understand that feeling.
Is this going to last thing for you, or were you?
Yeah, because of our age difference. I mean, I'm 40. I just turned 42. He just turned 29. So we've been together for 2 years now. So it's definitely, and he doesn't have his own kids. So that was a huge thing in the beginning. I can't have more kids. So I can't give you a child. And that like broke my heart for him. Yeah. Because like he loves kids, and I see him with my godson and I see him with, my friend. I watch her granddaughter like once a week and I see how he is with kids. Not that he doesn't love mine as his own, because he does. He has been amazing with them. But at the same time, like he doesn't have that. He'll like if we stay together forever, he's not gonna have that until and he's like, oh, we'll have grandkids. Oh, like there's that aspect of it, but that's been for me, it's guilt because I can't do that for him.
I understand that. Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
I 100%.
But he's like, doesn't matter. Like I love you and I'm not going anywhere. So like he reassures me with it. Sweet. Yeah, like
Shout
he reassures.
Yeah.
Aiden's a good guy.
He's a good dude.
So he definitely reassures me on it, but at the same time, like as a woman, like I just have that guilt for him. And it comes up a lot. Like, and he knows it. Like if I'm having a moment and like I'll say something and he'll be like, okay, we're gonna reiterate, like
just some reassurance. Isn't that important? Okay. Can we touch on reassurance?
Sure. Yes.
Words of affirmation. I don't know if everybody's like this.
I am, dude. Definitely.
I need you to tell me every day you're staying. Like every day, I need you to be like, you're
here.
You're the most beautiful. Anywhere. I want, because I will be in my head all day. It'll be one thing he says to me. I'm like, I lost him. Yeah, he's gone. Like it is crazy in there. Yep. I'm telling you, and like and I try so hard to suppress it, but like
it's so
that is how I feel loved. That is how I feel secure. If you are not telling me that you're in it, like I think you aren't.
Yeah.
That's just the way it is. And like, I need it to be like firm.
See, and for me, I'm the same way, but I've also had like my past relationships have cheated. So like I have that to where he's like, I'm not like, you're the only one. Like he has to tell me all the time. And I know it's like a broken record for him. Like I feel like it would be for him, but
that's like saying,
he's very good about it.
That's like saying buying gifts for your loved one is, a waste of time. No, it's just how you feel loved. Mm-hmm. It is how, and that might be from trauma, but that is who you are now. So like, and it's pretty easy. Like, honestly, for me, it is, I guess. I love telling people how much I love them. I love telling people how awesome I think they are and what they do awesome, and like pinpoint things that I just adore about them. And that's probably because it's my love language. Yeah. That's what I want people to say to me.
Yeah. So like I'll find like quotes like on Instagram or something and I'll send it to him while he's at work. And like he has told me like that makes a huge difference in his day.
It's so sweet. Yeah.
Because it's like those messages. He knows that I'm proud of him for what he's doing. And
that's adorable.
He's never had that on his side of relationships either. And so.
And see, I got the issue is, you can tell me you love me, but like,
show me.
I'm with the fuck. Can I believe it?
I have a hard time with that too. That's why I need the reassurance every single day, all day. Yeah. I need you to remind me because I truly don't believe you.
And this is what, like, we literally had this conversation last night. I'm like, you can tell me you love me. Like, he probably told me like 20 times yesterday that he loved me. Great. Like, I love that. But like, I also need I'm proud of you.
It's super easy to say I love you.
Yeah, like the other words of affirmation. Like,
absolutely.
I need that too. Mm-hmm. And so he was like, okay. Like now he's like, I just told you were beautiful the other day. And I was like, did you? Because I don't remember.
I don't feel beautiful right now though. So I need it right now.
Yeah, like it was like a whole thing. But I was just like, oh, you did?
And if we could just be open about those things and not be looked at as needy.
And just
because like
I've been trying to be more affirmation, I've always told her she's beautiful.
Yeah, she is.
I may not have said, I appreciate you enough, but I've always, I don't know, I felt like that was implied, and but I guess hearing it is, can make a difference.
Yeah, it's a huge difference.
In my marriage, it was usually like physical attributes, like you're hot, you're sexy. That's old. Like that stuff means zero to me. Honestly, that's all going to go away someday, and I'm going to be wrinkly and old and gross. I need somebody to like love me for me and the things like, not that I'm just, a good time. Like I want you to enjoy who I am as a person, and that's, I feel like hard to find. Maybe it's me.
I'm like a personal touch too. So
for sure.
Especially when we're out. If we are out at a bar,
like claim me.
Yes. So like this happened last night. We were standing out on the patio thing, and I went to walk in, and he smacked my butt, and I loved it. Like I was like, yes.
Yeah.
And these girls that were sitting there with their like this whole group that he was talking to, they're like, oh no, if that was my boyfriend, I would have freaked out. Why did you do that to her? And I was like, did you tell them that that's what you want? You want, like, there was a whole group of guys. So when I walked through, he smacked my ass to show.
And not everybody does.
Yeah.
Not everybody wants that, but that's a love language
that
of yours.
Is my love language. Like, yes, please do that to me. Because that shows me that you're proud of me. You're showing that
Who's that good game?
We're
good game.
Yeah.
Exactly. But he does that, like when we go to shows, like, we go to the music shows and stuff, and he's very good about, he'll go and mingle and stuff, but he always comes back.
I love that.
Gives me a kiss, make sure, I'm good, but
Aiden's setting the bar, man.
He
dang.
He sets it pretty high.
Seriously, he makes a mean burger too. My goodness.
So good. Hide Sides. Go check him out.
Hey.
Shout out.
For real. Check it out.
So obviously with him being younger and being a better communicator, how much, I kind of touched on this a little bit. How much of it, were his parents? You said they weren't,
Yeah, he was raised by his mom and his grandma and stuff. His dad was not around. He was in and out of jail, I think. I don't know how much of his younger. I know like a good chunk of it when he was like grade school. He's around now. Like, I mean, we see him and stuff, and he has a good relationship with him now and stuff. But I don't know. I think
just kind of more.
Aiden's an old soul.
Did they nurture that like communicator in him, or did he just figure it out?
He wants it for himself, and so he does that for everybody else.
Yeah,
like he gives out what he wants.
Yeah,
and it's not always taken that way. You know, like some people, you love him or you hate him, type. You know, like, but he's such a lover that that's what he's been dying for. Like that's what he's wanting. So in knowing that, like that's why I try and send him things throughout the day while he's working all day long. And you know, like you're
attempting to give him what he needs also.
Right.
You're affirming him.
Right. Yeah, that's awesome. I try as much as I can. And like even like when he comes home, he plays his video games. So that's like his like relaxed time. And like I gotta give it to him. You know, like he needs that.
I'm all for that
because like he's around people all day long, whereas I'm not. Like I work from home.
Yeah.
So like there is that. Like I want his attention right when he gets home, but I'm also going to bed.
I get that.
So you know, but he has that free time to decompress and like listen to podcasts and. Like that's his
we all need
downtime
that for sure. I love that time, and like I don't want anyone to ever get offended if I'm just like I don't want to talk to anyone. I just want to rot in my bed and watch terrible television. That alone, it's not personal. I just want to lay here and not think, you know. And like they should be able to do the same thing, and no one should be mad about it because we are all independent people. Like you should be able to have downtime all you want.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, I need to figure out how to shut off sometimes, but I don't.
See, it's hard when you run your own business, too.
I think hunting used to be my,
your downtime.
Yeah, but I haven't really since the kids, done enough.
Yeah.
But now they're starting to get to the age where I'm trying to get, we did a little coyote hunting last week.
And maybe that would be important for both you and Jen to set aside time for yourselves only. Yeah. Where she is going out, maybe she gets a gym membership or she gets like something that's like once a week. It's hers. She does it. No one's bugging her. Even if it's just going to a coffee shop and drinking or reading a book, like whatever she wants to do. Like you get this time every week. You get this time every week, so we can just be us, be me.
Right.
Like I don't think parents of littles do not get that, and they don't focus enough on that, honestly, because together, is obviously always what we are with the kids, but. You guys need still to be yourselves.
Get it. I get my downtime because I have my two younger ones every other week. Like with their dad, we split week on, week off. So like when I don't have them, that's kind of like my downtime.
Sure.
Because my oldest daughter's in high school. Like she can drive now, so it's kind of nice to just veg out and not have to worry about little ones for a week.
Yeah.
So,
right?
Like that's
how times have changed.
Yeah.
I know we're both like rotting in bed now after like just running after children all of the time.
And I think that's been hard for me too, because like my older two were always in sports. And so we were on the go all the time. And now I'm like,
well, it's like at that point in your life, it's not your turn to have the free rotting in bed days. No. And then they grow up and then it's rotting time and you're wishing you can go back to those times.
I'm afraid of the rotting time allows me time to think.
Tell me about it. It's a dark place.
It's a dark place.
It's a dark place.
I don't want that quiet time. I would rather have the kids raging and trying to be having fun with them.
Dude, I miss the noises in my house more than anything.
But I also see and understand the need for Jen to have that time.
Yeah. Stay-at-home mamas especially. Yeah. Isolation. Let me tell you from personal experience.
That's the stay-at-home mom it's like a gift and a curse. Because like your kids get you instead of some babysitter raising them, but it also
you lose you.
Yeah.
The mama loses her. Right. She is nothing but and I don't mean that as a bad thing at all. It is just kind of a season you go through when you are a stay-at-home mom, and you are extremely blessed to be able to do that. But it's not for the weak. It's hard. It consumes you every day, all day.
That's how, like, so I work from home and I'm at home all day long. And I only leave to take kids to school or, you know, run places.
Yeah.
Like to the store or run Aiden to work or pick somebody up or, you know, and it's like, I literally forced myself yesterday to get up, shower, put makeup on, do my hair, and I went and like watched my football game at the bar.
I like it.
Like I had to force myself to do
I do that every once in a while.
But I had to. I had to get out of my
ready,
house.
go get yourself some dinner, whatever.
Crazy because I was sick earlier in the week.
Yeah.
So I was like, I have to get out of this house. And I had been in my head all week, so I got like 2-3 hours a night of sleep, and I was struggling. I've been struggling all week, and so getting out last night.
I'll do that on like a random Monday when I'm going to work. I'll just put some lips on and do my hair because I need it that day. That day I just need to feel better.
Yeah.
My mother-in-law has been really dope in letting us. She's been watching the kids while we've been getting out to a couple shows and stuff. But later, last month or the last 2 months here, we've gone to more shows than we have in.
Isn't it crazy?
7 or 8. Years.
And your wifey loves that, man.
When you open that show, like that's exactly. So my cousin performs. His name's Rizzy, and I went to his show for the first time. That's actually kind of in a roundabout way how me and Aiden met. But I went to that show for the first time, and then once me and Aiden started dating, like that's like our date night, I guess, is going to shows.
Love
and so. It opens your eyes up to the music scene in Omaha, and it is crazy how many good performers there are here.
Oh yeah.
But it's a great date night.
Absolutely.
Like that is what we do. That is our thing. That is me and Aiden's thing. Like
it's one of my favorite date nights.
Yeah. It's so fun.
You were always a concert goer.
Live music.
I was always like, no, I got a problem with crowds is what it is.
See, I don't like the big, like
the older I get, the worse that gets. Yeah. For sure. I love the outdoor.
Outdoor
like
concerts,
wide open
great.
Fields, and you can just go hang out with the hippies up on the lawn. I like that. Like the old people who have their kids and stuff.
You brought a blanket.
No, I'm just kidding. I mean, that has happened, but I'm usually up front. But there have been times lately that I would be like, can they turn it down?
Right.
Can they turn it down? It's a little loud in here. I'm tired. It's 9:30. Yeah. Okay. It's pathetic, but I'm definitely a live music fan.
Yeah. I've always loved going to concerts. Like I always just take my niece Rachel. She was my concert buddy when she was little because my kids were way too little at the time.
Right.
And it's so fun because she just went to a concert Friday night. And so like seeing her still doing it herself in her 20s.
I love it.
Yes.
So you still got a bunch of notes over there.
We've actually hit up most of the things. Where are we at? What time?
We got 25 minutes left.
Go ahead.
No, we're all right. We kind of talked on parents and self-worth and, kind of back to the being heard, I guess, how do we figure that out?
I think that comes down to compassion and empathy, honestly. And I think that a lot of times, like you guys said, you guys want to fix it and we might just want to be venting. And in that scenario, really all we want is for you to just listen and try to understand where we would be coming from as far as what we're feeling inside. And it's basically like, I'm sorry you're feeling that. Like, I'm here for you. That's all we need, Yeah. And I saw something, or I heard something recently about how different men and women are as far as being emotionally wired. And women are so emotionally wired and men aren't. They're logical. They're all logical, right? It's all logic, which I'm not saying that emotions can't be logical, but they're hard to kind of regulate. And I feel like that balance is supposed to be there. I think that you can bring something to the table, as can we, where we're bettering each other. But I think usually we're just like, no, that doesn't make sense to me. So I can't do it. But it takes like understanding that she's feeling something right now. Can I possibly put myself in her shoes to maybe try to understand why she's feeling that way, even if you didn't intend it that way, even if it may have nothing to do with you. But I just think that's in my experience, that's usually what the problem was. There was no empathy. There is no compassion whatsoever. And if I am just off my rocker and I shouldn't be like crying about something, just hug me then.
Right.
Like, make me laugh. Do something that can get my mind off of it. Yeah. And I will try to do the exact same thing to you. Like, if you're having a hard day and I call you and you're just so frustrated, that can be frustrating to you too, because you're like, geez, just bitching, But if I approach him like, hey, your boss doesn't know how lucky he is to have you. Dude, you're a hard worker. I see. Like, if you approached him like that would hopefully ease his day a little bit. At least he's going to be happy to come home to you. Yep. Rather than like, get over it, dude. This is your job. You bitch about it every single day. Get a different job. You know what I'm saying? But like, if you approached him just like pepping him up, like, I'm your hype person. I'm going to hype you up anytime you're down. Like, imagine how different that would be. You know? Sure.
And I think too, at least for me, I've always been the one that I'll multitask while I'm venting.
Sure.
And like talking, because that's what my mom would do dishes and call my aunt and vent.
Totally.
So like that's how I vent. And Aiden hates it because he's like, eye contact. Like, you need to look at me. Like, so I know, and vice versa. Like, if he's venting to me, like, and that's I'm doing something, he's like, can you stop and just look at me? And I'm like, oh, sorry. Like, I don't realize I'm doing it
by him saying,
like, I don't realize I'm doing it. And I'm just like, oh, sorry. Like, yes, let me look at you.
Yeah.
So you know that I'm paying attention.
I need that too.
But again, he had to communicate.
But he had to tell me. And so, and I mean, I still struggle with it. It's been 2 years, but I try, but there's times where he has to be like, can you just stop and like focus?
I like that.
Like, yes.
I like that.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a page out of your book. I like that. I think it's important to like do the eye contact and really get down to the bottom of it, because we are so distracted constantly.
And I have a hard time with eye contact. Yeah. I always have.
I get it. It makes me a little uncomfortable too. I mean, not with like my friends, but like in a romantic kind of scenario, it
like takes intimacy to a whole other level.
It really does. You're like, stop looking at my soul. Stop it. Quit.
Yeah. Yeah. Having those, especially like the hard conversations and like just staring at each other while you're doing it. Oh my God.
That makes me uncomfortable just talking about it.
Yes. I'm like sweating.
See, once I'm not making eye contact, that's when I've shut down.
And I'm too.
In my head.
Yeah. I'll stop talking. I will stop talking, and I will give you the shortest answers, and I will probably just like avoid you at all costs.
Yep.
Just like, no, just me. I'll be a brat, most likely, because I feel like you stepped on my air hose. I can't breathe because I feel gross, and I just got the ick because I didn't feel heard. I didn't feel seen. I feel like nothing. Like, it didn't matter that I'm hurt, that I'm crying, that I'm whatever, like, even if you don't understand it, we can still be compassionate about how you're feeling, even if it's over the stupidest thing. We all have days.
We all have stupid things.
We all have days where like just stubbing your toe makes you want to just cry. You may not feel that way, but I do. It's just because it just seems to pile on some days.
Like, just the stupidest little thing.
And we get it. When you're at your worst, man, you need your partner to be just hyping you up. It can't be something where this thing where all of a sudden they're your enemy. You know what I'm saying? And like, because you feel that way, right?
And to a point, all the negativity, it piles up.
Man, it's horrific. It's so toxic.
And once you're angry or one of the people's angry, again, it spins into you being angry, and now everybody's just fucking angry.
And then your whole day is completely ruined in a family that absolutely adores each other. It doesn't make any sense. It really, like, what a waste. And I say this all the time because life is super short, and my dad died so young, and his dying words were like, don't wait until it's too late. Like, say what you mean. Do it today. If they died today, you better be happy about what you said to them, how you treated them. And I'm not saying I do that perfectly every day, but I try to keep it as like at the forefront.
I think when you lose a parent, especially when you lose a parent younger, like, I mean, I was an adult when I lost my mom, but she was
young.
She was 64.
Yeah, my dad was 67.
Yeah. So like, I feel like when you've lost that, you definitely look at things a whole nother way.
Oh man, I started saying everything. Yeah. Everything changed after he told me that, because I was like, there were too many things in my life that I was pushing under the rug, overlooking. I wasn't paying attention to what it was doing to my stress levels. I was literally running from a bear for many, many years.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I'm not doing that anymore. Yeah. I'm not going to run from a bear anymore, and I'm going to figure out where the bear is and get rid of it. It's too short to live like that. And there's no reason to treat people poorly.
Right.
If you don't line up, if y'all don't align, call it and be amicable. Just be good to each other.
It's the time wasted in anger that is like my biggest fear.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
You also have to, it's so hard to leave your past in your past. Like past relationships. It's hard not to bring those into your new relationship. Those struggles that you struggled with. But at the same time, like, you just have to give that person the benefit, like, give them, like, they weren't in that relationship. No. So, like, this is a new...
It is,
but it's so hard.
That's where communication comes in.
So hard.
You let that person know what you've been through, so they can be...
So that way they know, like,
sensitive to that.
This is triggering
That's
her.
why she reacted that way. It has nothing to do with
or him, like vice versa.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
Like me and Aiden have had so many conversations about our past relationships and our past life. Like, it does help to know, okay,
without a doubt,
this is triggering him for this reason. Also,
Well, and if you've gone through, if you've dated, if you've had more than one relationship, we're not like 18-year-olds trying to find our soulmates.
Right.
It's so different. And we are bringing
different.
Such different things to the table, and those have to be communicated. They have to be talked about. It can't just be like, I feel like a lot of times, so in the dating world, there's this kind of like push and pull, like, oh, I'm going to give you this, but not all of it. And then the other person's like, okay, I'm going to match that. I'm going to match that energy. And then they might fall a little harder. And then they're like, whoa, what are you doing? It's just like, what are we doing? What is this circus?
Something I heard the other day that has been in my head for a week now is we were raised to know what your role was, and you were raised to know what my role was, but we were never raised to nurture each other.
None.
In position,
Yeah, that wasn't taught to.
Are you good?
Anyone.
I know you're in a split home. Were you in a split home?
I was.
See, so was I. So, like, I never knew my parents together. Like, they got divorced when I was, like, I think 2. Yeah. And then my dad married my stepmom. And so I always saw them, like that, right? Like, them together. Yeah. But my mom was married 5-6 times.
Oh, I wholeheartedly believe in generational curses.
Oh, 100%.
And I think, it's something you have to kind of look at yourself and talk to your kids about, like, because it's a real thing. It is 100%. It's a real thing.
My dad was married 3 times. My stepmom was his last marriage, and it didn't work out. They got divorced. I mean, Jaden was like 2, so 20 years ago. They've been divorced now, which is crazy to say. And my stepmom is remarried, and she's still my mom. And
isn't that wild?
Her new husband is I call him my stepdad, because what else am I going to call him?
Right. Yeah. No,
but
it's just all these blended families that are confusing.
Families. Yeah. Like Aiden is from a split home too. And, his mom is remarried, and his stepdad has always been in his life since he was younger. So like, he's had that father figure there as well. But it's just so, and now my kids are in split. Like,
same.
I was with Dustin for almost 12 years. So we weren't married, but and then when I did get married, I was with him for 9 years, and it's like, you live in those split homes, and I just pray, like, my kids don't have
I'm telling you, this is why I stayed as long as I did. I was not willing to have my kids grow up in 2 different homes like that.
It's hard.
It was something I contemplated many times, but I was like, I'm not sharing my kids. I'm not sharing holidays. I'm not going to miss any milestone.
It is rough.
It's so like I see it all over with my friends.
Co-parenting is
absolutely, rough. And I
know me and Dustin, like, we've always had a great relationship, and we said it from the beginning, like before we even had Jaden, like if we ever had kids and we split up, like we're going to be friends.
Yeah.
So that way we did a great job with Jaden. We never had to go to court. We never did any of that.
Yeah.
And now, like with my girls' dad, it was rough for a while. Aiden came in the picture. We're all not best friends, but I mean, like we're all friends. Like me and their stepmom, we're really good friends now, and
that's how it should be.
We get along now, and it's so much easier for the girls. So much easier. And like I tell Aiden all the time, like I thank God for him. They tell him all the time.
Yeah, that's good.
And it's good. Definitely
things were put in place in the right place. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's communication for sure.
100%.
Like even as a co-parent, like like the girls' dad is out for work like for a while, and so like just communicating and like changing up the schedule a little bit so they can see him when he's back into town. Like just having that communication as a co-parent is so big. So big.
I think it comes down
just
to
because I know you're
communication
new,
is the most important thing.
Just
like you're newer into the divorce, like part of your life. So like just having that, and I know your kids are a little bit like
they are,
older, but still,
and their dad and I are
good,
perfectly good when it comes. I mean, we're friends and we co-parent great.
That's good. That's like
there's never been. I mean, we settled everything ourselves. We represented ourselves in court. We didn't even. Yeah. It was.
It makes life so much easier,
as easy breezy as it could have been. Yeah, but the kids now, they both. They don't love the idea that holidays are different places now. I'm not going to his side, things, which were they're still some of my closest loved ones. And, my daughters love me being there, but that's not appropriate in my opinion. We're all resilient and we talk about it openly, and I just give them space to talk about it.
Yeah.
So it's not easy. It wasn't. That was something I wanted to say, that like leaving is never easy, and it shouldn't be thought that like it was just a decision on a whim,
right?
Because there's just people get to a breaking point,
for sure.
So, anyway,
and I knew we weren't going to like solve communication issues, but like
it's great to just get it out there.
Trying to figure out, I'm not good at it.
Same. I mean, we all have issues with it
too.
I mean, I can sit here and talk to my buddies, but I can be like, "Look, fuck you," Like,
yeah, right.
So it's
different.
Yeah.
That comes off a little different to the wife.
Oh, and it does. It does.
Tried it, doesn't work.
So I don't know. I don't know. Hopefully we can get, hopefully there's something people can take away from this to, I'm going to look at some things for myself, and hopefully we can all be a little better about it. And
I think we could all be a little less sensitive to each other too. Like, honestly, like just
I agree.
Relax. Just
I'm
take her down. I am
the
too.
One,
and I'm saying that to me.
Yeah. We're both sensitive to a point, but like I definitely I
get triggered very easily.
Yes. Very easily.
We're hormonal. See, the men have like this hormonal baseline all month. You guys go up every day and then it goes down every day. Ours
are like this.
Yeah.
Not good.
Yeah.
So, it's something I apologize for often, and it's not fun to be us. So sorry. This life didn't choose me. It chose, wait, you know what I mean? I didn't choose this life. It chose me.
Yeah. So I guess, I don't know. Keep trying to communicate, guys. Don't waste time on anger.
Yeah.
Any of us could, sadly be smoked on the way home today. You know what I mean? It could be that quick. Don't waste time on anger.
Yes.
Say I love you to your people.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I tell my kids my kids will tell me before they leave the house, I love you. They hang up the phone. I love you. It's because I've done it with them their whole lives. Like, my son just turned 22. And
still says it.
And he's so...
I say it to my best friends. Every one of my best friends hears an I love you from me.
When I come home after, work or whatever, and he's there, if they don't give me a hug right away, I'll just look at them and shake my head, and they'll get up and come running over like they know.
That's the best welcome crew ever.
Yeah. No. I love my boys.
Yeah.
Love my boys.
Absolutely.
All right, ladies, we got anything else you want to try to add?
No, thank you for having us.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're opening this conversation up. I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
So
I think you should have the female perspective more often.
We can see what we can try to work some more out.
Don't look so excited. Look, okay, calm down. Just relax.
Really, I started watching Show 30 the first time, and I'm like, God, the guys came off really fucking rough at first.
At first, yeah.
I didn't mention those notes that I wrote down. I thought I'd leave that part out.
Yeah, I was like, it came off really rough at first, but
it was a little doggy dog at the beginning.
Yeah.
But I really liked the way that it ended.
Yeah.
You guys circled back to the beginning, and you were like, okay, maybe we're a little rough there.
Yeah.
It's all right.
And I think too, like, we all went to school together, so we've all known each other.
I know.
Since we were teenagers, so we kind of might not have seen each other for the last 20 years, but we still have like seen each other on Facebook. And
I see Melissa almost every day.
Well, yeah, I've seen her more now, but
I yell at him every once in a while.
But I think that just helps. Like, I know every guy that was sitting at that table,
and you know their story.
And I know their stories.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I know where they were coming from to a point, and so like, yeah.
No, when I first went back and reviewed it, I was like, damn.
Yeah.
I was a little triggered at the beginning.
I took notes.
Ain't gonna lie.
Lots of notes.
Oh yeah.
When I first listened to it, I was like, "Oh, that's a good."
I'm like, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Just kidding.
I do appreciate you guys seriously taking the time and coming in.
Love it. Yeah, appreciate it.
Yes, thank you.
All right, we'll let King Crime sing us out of here.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
On 5 and dime, on 5 and, on 5 and, on 5 and dime, on 5 and, on 5 and, on 5 and dime, on 5 and, on 5 and, and yeah you lie, on 5 and dime, got on the